and then the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Then the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter, and seventh chapter. So today we will hear about the seventh chapter. In the first chapter, Arjuna gave the reasons why he doesn't want to fight. And in the second chapter, Lord Krishna gave the reasons why Arjuna should fight. And after that, Lord Krishna starts explaining that the fighting has to be done as a Nishkama Karma Yogi. So from the second chapter, Nishkama Karma Yoga was explained. It continued in the third chapter. And in the middle of the third chapter, Arjuna says, oh, this is wonderful, Krishna, but what is it that stops somebody from doing their occupational duty? Then Lord Krishna says, oh, this is lust, Arjuna. And then about the lust, the rest of the third chapter continues. And at the end of the third chapter, Lord Krishna says, in order to conquer this lust, you need transcendental knowledge. And that's how the fourth chapter is about the transcendental knowledge. And after giving the transcendental knowledge, at the end of the fourth chapter, Lord Krishna says, okay, now that you heard everything about this transcendental knowledge, get up and fight Arjuna. Now Arjuna is confused for one final time. So in the beginning of the fifth chapter, Lord Arjuna asks, can you please tell me one last time, Madhusudana, do I fight or do I just go to the forest and meditate? Then Lord Krishna makes it clear that he has to fight. And in the fifth chapter, there is the description about Nitya Sannyasi. And after that, about Gunatita Sthiti, that is the transcendental state, beyond the modes. How to attain that state beyond the modes, not affected by any modes. So, first, that state is described. What is that state? The symptoms, like that. And after that, it is said how through Jnana Yoga that mode can be, transcendental mode can be attained. And through Ashtanga Yoga and then through Bhakti Yoga. And in the very beginning of the fifth chapter, Lord Krishna makes it clear how Karma Yoga, how he is endorsing Karma Yoga, not the Karma Sannyasa. In other words, he is endorsing Bhakti Yoga, not the Jnana, to attain this transcendental state. That he made it clear in the very beginning itself. So, at the end of the fifth chapter, Lord Krishna very concisely explains about Ashtanga Yoga in 2-3 verses as a way to get to this transcendental state. Yeah. And that's why the continuation of the fifth to the sixth is the Ashtanga Yoga. And that's why in the sixth chapter, in the last week, we heard about a big chunk of it is about Ashtanga Yoga. Not only we heard about Ashtanga Yoga, but we also heard about comparison with Bhakti Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, a comparison with the Bhakti Yoga. We also heard about the control of the mind. I thought that's all in Ashtanga Yoga, control of the mind. And the destination of unsuccessful yogis in Ashtanga Yoga. So all that we heard. And at the end of the sixth chapter, Lord Krishna says, okay, now that I have explained everything to you, Arjuna, of all these yogis, yoginam api sarvesham matgater antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyukta tamo mata. Of all the yogis, the one who thinks of me in the core of their heart, that's he is the one that is more intimately united with me, says Lord Shri Krishna. Thinks in the core of their heart, Shraddhavan Bhajate Yomam, also worships me. So that's a Bhakti Yogi. So for somebody to think of the Lord in the core of their heart, they should know something about the Lord. Otherwise, what would they think of? So they should know about the Tattva of the Lord. The knowledge in relationship with the Lord. So the knowledge of the Lord. When the knowledge of the Lord comes, everything comes. When Bhagavat Tattva comes, Jiva Tattva should come because Jiva is from Bhagavan. When Bhagavat Tattva comes, Shakti Tattva should come because Shakti is from Bhagavan, Shaktiman. I like that. So now opens up the treasure chest, the Bhakti Yoga. So from the 7th chapter. So now in the 7th chapter, because the Lord says, one who thinks of me in the core of their heart, now the Lord has to give knowledge about him. And 7th chapter starts with that knowledge of the Lord. So in the 7th chapter, what are we going to hear today? We are going to hear about the Bhagavad Tattva, about Bhagavan, and how he is pervading even in this material universe, his energies, the modes. Yeah. His external energy is material energy. His marginal energy is Jiva Shakti. And so about Bhagavan and about the Jiva. We will hear about this too. And here the Jiva, say in the 2nd chapter, we already heard about soul, the knowledge of soul, right? That is unconditioned soul, knowledge of soul. But now what we are going to hear in the 7th chapter is a soul when it comes into the material nature, in this material world, into this material body, it gets conditioned by 3 modes of material nature. So we will know about the conditioned soul. So about Bhagavan, about the conditioned soul, and about the demigod worship. This will be important knowledge for us to have for our own self and to answer the questions if somebody asks us. Demigod worship and impersonalists, their worship. Okay. 4 kinds of souls, 4 kinds of people that come to Krishna, 4 kinds of people that go away from Krishna. That we will hear in the nature of conditioned souls. So these are the ones that we are going to hear. Bhagavan, conditioned souls, and different kinds of people that come to Krishna or go away from Krishna, demigod worship, and impersonalists. These are the 4 main topics. All right, dear devotees, we will go to the PowerPoint. I am going to share that with you. It feels like now the treasure chest is being opened, Bhakti Yoga. So these are the topics about Lord Krishna, yeah, and about the conditioned Jiva, how the modes act upon Jiva, and 4 types of people that come to Krishna. And after this is 4 types of people that go away from Krishna. That is also explained here. Then demigod worship and impersonalism. So those are the big chunks today. All right. So at the end of the 6th chapter, Lord Krishna is saying, Yoginam api sarvesham matkaterantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajati yo mam samyuktatamo mataha. Okay, Archana. Now that I said it, I'm going to give you knowledge about myself. Okay, Arjuna? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Asakta Manah Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yada Gnashyasi Tashrunu. Here in this verse, dear devotees, Lord Krishna is instructing us how Shravanam should be, how hearing should be. Mai asakta manah partha. Mai asakta mana. Asakta mana is mind attached to me. Mai asakta mana. Asakti is such a state, so much attached that you get addiction to a thing. Mai asaktamana. So your mind attached to me, O Partha, yogam yunjan madashraya. Do this bhakti yoga, taking ashraya of me. In that way, asamshayam samagrammam, without any samshayas, without any doubts, samagrammam, completely jnashyasi, yada jnashyasi. How you can know me completely beyond doubts. Tashrunu, I will tell you, you hear me. Hear me, Arjuna, how you will know me completely beyond doubts. For this, you should have asaktamana, your mind attached to me, and you should take ashraya of me. So your hearing should be that rapt attention. Then asamshayam samagrama. You will know about me completely without any doubts. So this is how, Arjuna, you should hear when I speak, says Bhagavan. And now Bhagavan is speaking about himself. How rare is this? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvataha. How rare is it for somebody to know Lord Krishna, the tattva of Bhagavan? How rare is it? There sahasreshu, thousands of men can be there, and out of all the thousands of men, only one will become a siddha, perfect. Yatatam api siddhanam, amongst those siddhas, amongst those perfected beings, there is only one rare person that knows me in tattva. Bhagavat tattva. There are many transcendentalists. Buddhism is also transcendental. Nirvana, beyond modes. Buddhism, impersonalism, Ashtanga Yoga, all these are transcendentalists. They are all siddhas. They're perfectionists. They've gone beyond the modes. But amongst those siddhas, there's only one. Among so many siddhas, there is only one, rarely any, that knows me in Vetti Tattvataha, in complete Tattva, Bhagavad Tattva. That's a devotee who knows Bhagavan in complete Tattva, including Brahman, Paramatma, and Parabrahma, which is Bhagavan. So it is the devotee. And in devotees also, who knows Bhagavan in that Tattva and lives in that Tattva. The pure devotees who are totally surrendered to the Lord, because they're living in Tattva. Not that they just know it, but they live totally sheltered. So that kind of pure souls are very rare, very, very rare. And now that the Lord mentioned about the rarity of the knowledge he is going to give, rarity of the knowledge in the people. Yeah. So now Lord Krishna is bestowing the knowledge about his energies and himself. What are his energies? Bhumiraporanalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtadha. Oh Arjuna, This bhumi, apo, analo, vayur, kam, all these 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind and the intelligence and false ego. Those are subtle elements. So both gross material elements and subtle material elements, all of them, they are binna prakriti rashtada. All these 8 are different, variegated energies of my inferior energy. So they are all variegated material energies, my separated energies. That's about the material elements, both gross and subtle. Our body, we are made, we are souls. This gross body is Bhumir, Apor, Analo, Vayur, Tam. 5. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Every cell of this body has these 5 elements. And when this gross body is put aside, the subtle body inside is made of the mind, intelligence, and false ego. That we feel it. Gross body, we see it. Of course, air and ether we feel. And even more subtle than air and ether is mind. Ooh, we feel it, right? And intelligence is a faculty. Yeah? In decision making and discrimination. And false ego, it is so big that we don't even feel it. So, these are all the separated material energies of the Lord. And is there any other energy? Apareyam itasvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Yes, there is one more energy. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Oh Arjuna, vidhi me param. There is one more superior energy. Apareyam itastvanyam. That is different from this inferior energy that I have just stated. That is Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho. Oh Mahabaho, Arjuna. That superior energy is this Jiva Shakti. My marginal energy, Jiva Shakti. And this Jiva Shakti is Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. Is in this Jagat, enjoying, exploiting these material elements present in Jagat. That is why this is called, this Jiva is a conditioned. Because it is exploiting the material energies that the Lord has just described. So that's marginal energy, Jiva Shakti. So we heard about separated energies and the marginal energy, the superior energy. And now about Bhagavan, he's saying, okay, those are my energies, Shaktis. Huh? One is the inferior energy and the superior energy is soul. And about me, Arjuna, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Dear devotees, Lord spoke about this body and our mind, intelligence, false ego, okay? And he actually spoke about our identity, who we are, the soul. And now the Lord is saying, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is no other superior truth than me. Kinchid asti dhananjaya. Na kinchid asti. There is no parataram anyat. Matta. Me, parataram anyat. Superior to me, there is no other truth. O Dhananjaya. Mai sarvam idam protam sutre maniganaiva. I am Mai sarvam idam protam. I am, everything exists in me in a way that thread goes through the pearl necklace. So I hold everything as a thread holds the necklace of pearls. So everything is held by Bhagavan. All the jivas and the separated energies, the material elements, everything is held together by Bhagavan. That is Paramatma. Because everything is held together by Bhagavan, everything is maintaining its dharma. The water is fluidy and it wets when we touch. That's the nature of the water. The fire is hot and burns when we touch it. That's the nature of the fire. Like that. Everything is having its dharma just because the Paramatma is pervading everywhere. He is holding everything, each and every element, atom. So that's about Bhagavan. And he gives further knowledge about the details about how he is present as a string in the pearl necklace, how he is all pervading. Not only in the material elements, but as the qualities that are present in a jiva. Oh, how is he pervading? How is he present in this material world? This will really make us Krishna conscious. If we feel like, holy name, I really have to put some effort to be with the holy name because it is, it just feels like it is sound. If we think we are needing little effort to put in with the holy name, this is something we can relate to right away because they're all something that we can perceive with this gross body, more easily accessible. How? Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashisuryayohum pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake paurusham rushu punyo gandah pritivyam cha tejaschasmi vibhavasam jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschamsi tapasvishu Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham balam balvatam chaham kamaraga vivachitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabham. Lord is saying, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Oh Kaunteya, I am the taste in the water that you are drinking. Krishna conscious is so easy. When drinking water, oh, the taste is you, Krishna. And we look at the sun. I am that light in the sun. Oh, Krishna. Oh, you are present everywhere. The sunlight is present everywhere. And I am that syllable, oh Krishna, you are the syllable Om. And I'm that sound in the ether. Wow. So the fact that we are able to hear when we are talking is because of the presence of the ether, and the Lord is in the form of sound. And the ability in the man. If somebody is strong, and we are fascinated by the strength, oh, then we are fascinated by Krishna, because the strength in the strong is Krishna. The ability in the man is Krishna. And we walk on the earth, the fragrance from the earth is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. The life of all that is living is Krishna. The austerity of all the ascetics is Krishna. The intelligence of the intelligent is Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. In every material element, Krishna, 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 Krishna. In what we see, the sunlight, Krishna. In what we taste, the water, Krishna. In what we hear, the sound, Krishna. In what we feel, the strength, Krishna. In the heat, the digestive fire is Krishna. Krishna inside, Krishna inside the body, Krishna is the body, Krishna outside the body, Krishna everywhere. Totally Krishna conscious. No excuse for us now. So in this way, the Lord is present, is all pervasive. And He is the essence of everything. This is so beautiful, right? Now, after this class, each time we look at water, we become totally Krishna conscious, at least for the time that we drink water. We look at the sun, look at the light, Krishna conscious. And we are fascinated by anything in any person, oh, totally Krishna conscious. Everything about Bhagavan is beautiful. So this is all Bhagavan Uvacha, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. One more time, huh? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashisuryayo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake paurusham drushu punyo gandah pritivyam cha tejas chasmi vibhavasau Jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschamsi tapasvishu Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. Wow. I am the seed giving father. Arjuna, know this. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. If you are looking at any bhutanam, any embodied being, know that the seed giving father is me. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam. Bhuttir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinam aham. Aham, 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 aham. The word aham is very much beautified when Bhagavan says, I am the taste in the water. Tejas, tejasvinam aham. Balam, balvatam chaham. Kamaraga vivachitam. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu. Kamosmi bharatarshapha. So, that is the Lord that is present everywhere in the material elements as the qualities of the jivas. He's really mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. He gave a little gist of how he is going to be mattah parataram nanyat. After hearing all this, really is there a place that there is non-existent, that is not having Krishna there? Everywhere. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. And now, some knowledge about the modes. So, dear devotees, these modes are subtle energies that act upon us. The tamoguna, rajoguna, sattvaguna. You know, it's like this. The temperature. A very cold temperature. And when the room is, it has just the right temperature, or a hot temperature. Like, yeah, 3 kinds of temperatures like that. Different kinds of temperatures. In the same way, so the modes are 3 kinds. One sinking energy, one gushing energy, and the other one is balanced energy that we feel. So that energy is mode. So 3 kinds. Energy in 3 states. In sinking state, in gushing state, and in equilibrium state. Those are 3 modes. And the gross elements that we see, the 5 gross elements that we see, the body is made of 5 gross elements, and the 5 separate gross elements that we see, the earth, the fire, the water that we see around, these 5 gross elements, and the 3 subtle elements that the Lord said, the mind, intelligence, and ego. So these 8 elements 5 gross, 3 subtle. 8 elements, material elements. And these 3 modes, they are together inferior energy. Inferior energy. Okay. Marginal energy is Jiva Shakti, all of us, Jivas. Internal energy is Bhakti Shakti. Like that. So now Lord Krishna is speaking about modes, the 3 modes that we have just discussed. Yachaiva satvika bhava rajasastamashchaye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mayi. Arjuna, please hear. I am talking about the gunas now. Echa eva satvika bhava rajasas tamasaschaye. These 3 gunas, satvika, rajas and tamas, matta eveti tan vidhi. They are my energies, natvaham teshu te mayi. They come from me, but I'm not controlled by them. I'm not influenced by them. I am Shaktiman. Those are my Shaktis, but I'm not influenced by them. So this is one more Bhagavad Tattva. Knowledge of Bhagavan. For impersonalists, we will come to know very soon. Their jnana is not complete. Because here the Lord is saying, these modes, these 3 modes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, they come from me, but I am not influenced by them. Very clearly said. And the impersonalists, they say, Brahman is the ultimate, but when Brahman touched by goodness, then he comes as Krishna. He takes the form of Krishna. How can Brahman, which is transcendental, can ever be touched by goodness? Here the Lord is clearly saying, I am not touched by any modes. Like that. So that's a flaw in the impersonalist understanding. Where they think Brahma Jyoti is all in all. And where they think the form of the Lord when he's descended on the earth is inferior to Brahma Jyoti. That's what they think. But the devotee's understanding is this form that descends on the Lord is ever present, just that it is appearing now. And is not touched by modes and is not influenced by modes. Okay, that's the devotee's understanding. So the Lord is clearly stating here, these modes come from me, but I am not under their influence. Natvaham teshu te mayi. Trikir gunamayi bhavair. Tribhir gunamayi bhavair. Yebhi sarvam idam jagat. Mohitam na bhijanati mamebhyam paramavyayam. This is what we just discussed. Tribhir gunamayi bhavair. Yebhi sarvam idam jagat. The whole jagat, all the jivas in this jagat are mohitam. They are under illusion. Na abhijanati. They do not know. Mamebhya paramavyayam. That I am param, transcendental, and avyayam. I am inexhaustible. So those deluded jivas who think the personality of the Lord is exhaustible, in other words, perishable, then they are deluded. They are thinking under the influence of modes. Daivihesha gunamayi mama maya duratyayam mam eva ye prapatyante maya metam tarantite. This is the first shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, I got connected to understand what bhakti means. Mam eva ye prapatyante mayam etam tarantite. This Daivihesha gunamayi, these modes, these 3 modes, Mama Maya. They are my modes. What are you trying to do with those modes? You think you can win over them? You think you can control them? Mama Maya Duratiyaya. And don't battle with those modes. Oh my dear Jiva friend Arjuna, please do not battle with those modes. That is my energy. So I am telling you, very mercifully, I am revealing the secret. Instead of battling with those modes, Mam evaye prapatyante. Simply take prapatti of me. I'll take care of the rest. Mayam etam tarantite. What we generally try to do is Daivihesha gunamayi. These gunas are there, these three modes. When we are in the sinking energy, very deep, depressed, sad, yeah. And when we are in the gushing energy, and more trapping is that balanced energy where they think they are all in all and they don't need Bhagwan. That's more trapping energy. That's sattva, balanced. So when we are under the influence of these energies, we don't battle with them. We don't fight with those energies. We don't fight with those energies, and we don't hurt ourselves too. We try to fight with those energies. For what? Because we want to mayam etam tarantite. We want to get out of pain. We want to get out of the sinking energy. We want to get out of the gushing energy. We like that. So in order to overcome the pain, or in order to prevent the pain, in order to relieve the misery that we have now, or in order to prevent the miseries that we are going to have in the future, anything related to the body or mind, what we try to do is we try to meddle with these modes. We try to make plans. We don't necessarily have Krishna in the picture, in our thoughts and plans. And even if Krishna is there, Krishna has to do the way I want him to do. That's not Mam Evaye Prapatyante. That is Daivihesha Gunamayi. We are bringing in Krishna here. And we want Krishna to do how? In a way that we like him to do. And we are upset if it doesn't go. We are upset with Krishna, or we are upset with people if it doesn't go the way we want. So that's not prapatyante. That is the gunamayi. We are in the modes and they are turateya. We cannot, just because of our plans to resolve our miseries now, or to prevent the misery in the future, the plans cannot do it. We cannot do it ourselves. We cannot take away the pain that we have now, or prevent the pain that's going to come into the future. The pain is because of the modes, because of the sinking energy, tamoguna, because of the gushing energy, the rajoguna, and it can be because of the sattvic energy also, if Krishna is not in the picture. The pain is because of these modes. And we are affected by these modes because we haven't taken prapatyante of Bhagavan. The moment we take prapatti of Bhagavan, the very moment, nothing may change outside our situations. The people may be the same, the situation may be the same, everything may be the same. The gunas may be there. But once we take prapatti, Krishna, submit ourselves to the Lord, what happens? The Lord is saying, Mayam etam tarantite. I will cross over you the modes. So we don't really meddle much in bhakti. All we simply do is be with Krishna, serve Krishna to the best of our ability. Prapatti of the Lord. So, Lord Krishna, he's explaining about about the modes, right? Yeah, the knowledge of modes. How these modes are the energy of Bhagwan, and he's not influenced by the modes, but the jivas are influenced by the modes. And that's why they cannot understand who Bhagwan is, that he is transcendental and he is inexhaustible. So, in order to overcome these modes, jiva has to take prapatti. Mam evaye prapatyante. This particular shloka, dear devotees, 7.14. This is applicable for us at any given point of time, whatever mode we might be in. Mam evaye prapatyante. Mayam etam. So now that the Lord has explained about different modes, how he is not influenced, but the jivas are influenced, what all jiva has to do, only one thing, no confusion, no time waste, no unnecessary going through pain. Save the time, save the pain. Nothing more to do. Only one thing. Mamevaye prapatyante. Submit to the sweet will of the Lord and serve him to the best of our capacity, understanding that he is the Supreme Lord. Mam evaye prapatyante. So now the Lord made it so simple. He said, all you have to do is just take my prapatti. But not everybody does that. Namam dushkritino moodaha prapatyante naradamaha mayaya pahrita jnana asuram bhavamashritaham. I said, if you just take prapatti, your pain will be gone. You will not have pain. Though there is injury, you will not have pain. Though there is affliction by the modes, you will not be disturbed. There may be troubles and problems coming upon you, but you will not be affected. Yeah. But, and I'm giving you this secret, just mam evaye prapatyante. But not everybody does this. Namam prapadyante. There are some people who do not take this prapatti to me, who do not come towards me. 4 kinds of people. Who are they? Dushkrutino moodaha. Fools, dushkritino, animalistic fools. And naradamaha, lowest of mankind. Mayaya apahrita jnana, deluded speculators, the scientists, etc. They cannot see the personality of God. They are stuck with the atoms and molecules. Speculation. Animalistic fools, dear devotees. The terminology is like, who are these animalistic fools? Dvipada Pashu. Dvipada Pashu is all the people who are not interested in spirituality, but are just running after bhoga vishaya. Very busy with everything that is happening in the life and everything going on around. Very busy with that talks, with that gatherings, everything. Everything but God. Those are Dvipada Pashu. Muda, foolish. Foolish Dvipada Pashus. Because the animals, they just live their life with their, urges and instincts. That's all. There is no inquiry about the absolute truth. So any person who does not inquire about the absolute truth, Shastra calls them Pashu, animal, Dvipada Pashu, 2-legged animal. So those who does not have that interest in spirituality is 2-legged animal. This is the language of Bhagavan here. and Naradhama, a lowest of mankind. And Maya Apahrita Jnana and demoniac atheists, Asuram Bhava, who says there is no God. The first category is they say they admit there is God, but they're too busy to think about God. The first category, animalistic fools. The last category, demoniac atheists, say, no, there is no God. There is no God. So those are the 4 kinds of impious people that do not come towards Krishna. And there are, all of us fall in this next category, 4 kinds of pious people that are coming towards the Lord. Dear devotees, if you look at these 4 categories, all of us will fall at least in one of those categories prominently. Why did we become Krishna conscious? Why did we take up bhakti? Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jijnasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshambha tesham jnani nityayukta yeka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnanino atyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Oh, Bharatarshambha, Arjuna, there are 4 kinds of people. Chaturvidha, bhajante mam, that worship me. Those janas, those 4 people are, all of them are sukritina. They are pious people. They are pious, Arjuna, all 4 of them. Who are they? Arto. Oh, Krishna, I am in pain. I am hurting. I am sad. I am depressed. I have a problem. Can you please take away this pain? Arti, distressed. Gajendra, like that. And Jijnasur, curious. I just like to know what this life is about. And who is this God? And what are these elements, material elements? You like those sages in Naimisharanya. Not all of them are devotees. Most of them are Jijnasurs. They are inquisitive. They have questions and they need answers. Inquisitive. And Artharti, I need wealth. I need wealth. I need fame. I want prestige. Want. Is Artharti. Please take away the pain. Take away the pain. Take away the pain, please. Is Arti. Curious. Inquisitive is Jijnasa. The 4th one is Jnani. Jnani is, they know Bhagavan, they want to know more about Bhagavan. So amongst all these 4, Lord Krishna says the 4th one is the best. That they know who Bhagavan is, but want to know more about Bhagavan. So this is how we join Krishna conscious devotees. Most of the times, we will see that our anartha is correlates very much with the reason that we have joined this. If we are joining bhakti to get rid of the distress, and if the distress is not going away initially, our faith can shake because we think, oh, I took up this bhakti so I can get rid of this pain, but my pain is not going away. So maybe this bhakti is not working. They might get stuck there. And if somebody is coming to ISKCON, Krishna conscious, because they want to become famous, do something, say something, whatever, and want to become famous. It sounds like, no, why would one do like that, right? Grossly or subtly, that desire is there in the conditioned souls. But so for them, once they become a little known, recognized like that, that is it. they will not be able to do bhakti further unconditionally. They will not be able to do bhakti easily. Because their desire, their need was just to get something from here, and they got it. Like that. And inquisitiveness is, oh, I had questions. Question and answer, question and answer. Years, 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 and years. We will become a question bank with question and answers. But we don't know if we are getting more closer to Krishna in loving devotional service with more continuity. So that is one thing. And the knowledge. Yes, Krishna, want to know more about Krishna. This is wonderful. This is a big trap. Knowledge. Wanted to know about Krishna. I want to read Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Bhagavatam. Yes, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, more and more books, please. More and more knowledge, please, because I want to know everything about Krishna. I want to know, no. And will remain at knowing Krishna only. Bhakti in the mode of goodness. But beyond that is Tesham Jnani Nityukta. Oh, goodness. Excuse me, please. Yeah, let me please connect this. Oh, yes. So, yeah. So, who is the best? Tesham Jnani Nityayukta. Always in knowledge of Krishna, and also Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. With single pointed attention, serving the Lord, Eka Bhaktir. With unalloyed devotion, serving the Lord. So when the Jnani comes to this stage, Eka Bhaktir Visishyate, then that is a surrendered soul. So Lord Krishna says this categories, 4 of them. And in the next verse, he says, all 4 of them are wonderful, Krishna, Arjuna. They're all pious and they are dear to me. But the most dear one is the 4th one. The one who is always in knowledge of me and also performing unalloyed devotion. That is a surrendered soul. After saying that, Lord Krishna says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapatyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabaha. That kind of great soul who is in full knowledge of me and knows that Vasudeva is all in all. With that knowledge, when he takes prapatti of me, that person, Bahunam Janmanamante, after many, many lives, one who comes to this point, knowing that Vasudeva is all in all, and then takes prapatti of me, that kind of person, that Mahatma, that great soul, Sudurlabha, very rare. So pure, surrendered soul is very rare. This is Bhagavan speaking. So Lord Krishna spoke about how Mam evaye prapatyante. Just come to my shelter and I will get you across the modes. After saying that, even if I'm saying this, there are 4 kinds of people that they don't do this. And they are the Dvipada Pashus and Naradamas and Maya Apahrita Jnana and demonic atheists, Asuram Bhav, the 4 kinds of people that go away from Krishna. And the other 4 kinds of pious people, we heard. And amongst that 4, the last one, the Jnani, who is performing unalloyed devotion that person is very rare. Okay? So that's about impious and pious and surrendered souls. The next one is, so this is all about, so far we heard about Krishna, about the Lord, about material energies, his position and conditioned souls, and Krishna's modes, 4 types of people that go away from Krishna, and 4 types of people that come to Krishna, towards Krishna. And now about demigod worship and impersonalism. This is the big chunk. I mean, the second half. Oh, that's it. 2 slides. Okay. Demigod worship. Devata upasana. Devata archana. Demigod worship. Who is inclined to do the demigod worship? There are many people that might have heard about Bhagavad Gita, about Lord Krishna. But why is it that they are more inclined to worship demigods? Kamaistair hritagnyanaha prapadyante anya devataha tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Because they have kamais, they have material desires. And these material desires are because of hritagnyana. Their knowledge is stolen by the material desires. If I do this vratam, this puja, then I will get more money. I'll get a better job. Yeah, better spouse, a better child, a better house, something better in this world. And I really want the desire to be fulfilled. When the desire in a person is so strong, and they don't mind worshipping anybody because the desire has to be fulfilled, then they go for the demigod worship. When we worship Lord Krishna or Vishnu, we may place our desire there. But the Lord is like a very responsible father. He just doesn't give because we ask. He will wait and see if that is good enough for us, when it is good, how much is it good, and then he gives. Not everybody wants to be a good child. They just want to get it somehow. So when somebody wants to get a material desire fulfilled somehow, kama istaistar hritagnyana, then their inclination is to perform devata archana. Tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Based on the modes that they are influenced by, then and they will just adopt their own rules. This happens very much with Shakti Upasana, Bhairava Upasana. If somebody wants fame, there is a lot in India who does this. And under the influence of ignorance, predominant mode in those kind of upasanas, they come up with certain rules and regulations. Like that. So, this is why they want to do demigod worship. Okay, they took up the demigod worship. And then, what happens to them? I mean, when they are performing this demigod worship, say if somebody is worshipping Ma Durga for something, for a material desire, or Lord Shiva for a material desire, or Lord Ganesha for a material desire, or Surya for something, Chandra for something like that. Who is it? Who is it giving that faith for that devotee of the demigod? Whether it is a Shiva Bhakta or a Devi Bhakta or a Surya Bhakta or Indra Bhakta. Yo yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya chitamichhati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadami aham. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. Tam eva vidadami aham. I am giving the faith. I am giving their faith to worship their demigod. Oh, Krishna. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architam ichchati. Whoever whoever is desiring to worship a specific demigod, yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta, tasya tasya achalam shraddham. Yeah, their shraddha, their faith in that particular demigod, yeah, achalam shraddham, unshakable faith in that particular demigod. Tam eva vidadhami aham. I am giving that faith to them. It's not the demigod that is giving the faith to the devotee. It looks like it is the demigod that is giving the faith. So when there is a Devi Archana or Shiva Archana, Lord Shiva Archana, it is actually Bhagavan. Bhagavan that is giving that strong faith in the worshipper of that demigod towards that particular deity. This is extreme love of Bhagavan. And just because they want to worship some other form, Bhagavan doesn't want to force us. He says, okay, if this is what you like, I respect what you like. I will let you have what you want to have. Let me strengthen your faith in that demigod. So the faith is tam eva vidadami aham, is given by Bhagavan. Okay, the faith of that worshipper in that particular Devata Murti is given by Bhagavan. Okay. So, and now that particular person, they have done that puja or vratam or something, and their desire is fulfilled. They got a new job. Their health got better. Their daughter got married. Son got married. And whatever. The desire is fulfilled. How is that desire fulfilled? Who is fulfilling that desire? Who is giving that results of that particular vratam to that demigod? Is that demigod giving the result? Sataya shraddhaya yukta tasya aradanam ihate labate cha tadah kaman mayi aiva vihitan hitan. The Lord says, mayi aiva vihitan hitan. I am giving that result. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasya aradanamihate. When the demigod worshipper is worshipping that particular Devata Murti, that demigod with Shraddha and performing Aradhana, the worship, Labatecha Tata Kaman, that demigod worshipper will obtain their desire. And that is given by me. Mayeva Vihitan Hita. Unbelievable. Extreme mercy. So the faith in the Devata Murti and the phala or the result of their worship is both given by Bhagavan. That's Sri Bhagavan Vacha. And the Lord is saying, I give this, but what to do? They are really Hritagnyana. Their knowledge is stolen. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam. Devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. I give them because they're asking. That is through demigods. Yeah. So through demigods, I'm doing this for them. But antavattu phalam tesham. When they are doing this demigod worship, their phalam, the result of what is being given, even if it is by me through the demigod, that is antavattu. It has anta, adi and anta. It is temporary for a brief, limited period of time. It's limited and temporary result. Alpamedasam, very meager intelligence. So they almost have no intelligence. Why do they have to do this demigod worship? for the results that are very limited and temporary. And finally, what will happen to them? Devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. The demigod worshippers, they go to the planets of demigods. And only those who worship me, they will come to my planet. It's not like, okay, you can worship whoever you want to, and everybody merges in the God. Everybody merges in the Brahmajyoti. No, 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 no. We should have full knowledge of what process we are adopting. What is the destination? And how to do the process. Then only it becomes a process. Bhakti yoga is a process. So here, the Devata Archana that happens here is some vratam here and there, now and then, some puja here and then, now and then, is just for temporary results. But there are very serious Devata Upasakas where they do demigod worship not just for the results, but seriously to actually go to the planet of the demigods, like Surya Loka, Indra Loka, Chandra Loka, like that. Then for them, when they leave the body, whenever they get perfected in that kind of upasana, if that happens in this day and age of Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga disqualification is already there. But in the previous yugas, when they did the yajna, the Indra, Lord Indra used to appear and they used to drink Somarasa and they used to go to heaven. That was happening in the previous yugas. When they know how to do the yajna, when they know how to do the ucharana, recitation of the mantras, and when they have the paraphernalia that's needed for yajna. None of these things are present in Kali Yuga. So going to the demigod's place is not in this yuga. But Mad Bhaktya Yanti Mamapi can happen in this yuga. My devotees come to my abode. That can happen in Kali Yuga. In that way, Kali Yuga is fortunate. We are fortunate. That's one good thing in Kali Yuga. So that's about demigod worship that Bhagavan has explained about who does demigod worship and who strengthens the faith in the demigod and who give the results of that worship, and what is the nature of that result, that it is limited, and the destination of the demigod worship. Again, that's not in Kali Yuga. So that's demigod worship. The last topic, impersonalists. This we heard a little bit before. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mama buddhayah param bhavam ajananto mamavyayam anuttamam. Mama avyayam anuttamam. As we just heard, that was the first one, right? When the Lord is describing about the modes. Tripur gunamayi bhavayati ebi sarvam idam jagat. These modes come from me, but I am not bound by these modes. He said that in the beginning, right? So this impersonalists, as we just heard, their theory is this. Beyond the modes is the Brahmajyoti. Okay? So this Brahmajyoti is all in all. That's Brahman. That's it. But when this Brahman somehow or other comes under the influence of mode of goodness, then it takes a form to come into this Brahmanda. How can Brahman, which is beyond the modes already, can be pulled by mode of goodness into this world and acquire a form? Manyate mam abuddhaya avyaktam vyaktimapannam. Some people, avyaktam vyaktimapannam, they say that I was invisible before, avyaktam. And later on, vyaktimapannam, but I took up the personality, a form. Manyate mam abuddhaya. So those people who do not have buddhi, who do not have intelligence, they think that I was unmanifested before, but manifested later in person. Parambhavam ajananto. They do not know, ajananto, that I am parambhavam. I am transcendental. Mam avyayam anuttamam. I am finest and imperishable. So the form of the Lord that is seen when he appears in the world is an imperishable form. In other words, imperishable and inexhaustible. In other words, that form was present before also. It just is appearing to our eyes here when the Lord appears here. Because that form is avyayam anuttamam. When the form disappears in front of our eyes, it doesn't mean that he has become formless like the sun. When the sun is rising, the sun is appearing in front of eyes. The sun was present before too. We couldn't see because the sun did not rise. And after the sunset, we cannot see the sun because there is no sunlight. It doesn't mean that the sun has disappeared. He's rising somewhere else in a different country. Same with the form of the Lord. He appears in one Bhauma Vrindavana. And like the sun rises sometime. And as the sun sets, he disappears from this Bhauma Vrindavana and enters into a different Bhauma Vrindavana as the sun rises in a different place. It's an inexhaustible form. This is the understanding of the Vaishnavas. That the form of the Lord is inexhaustible. There is no change. As the sun has no change with the rising and setting. But the impersonalists don't think like that. They think the effulgence of the Brahman is all in all. And when we see the form in the form of Krishna, that's a lower version of Brahman. Lower version of Brahman because Brahman is touched by goodness. So that's why we also can become Krishna. That's where their logic comes. We are also Brahman. He was also Brahman before. He was touched by goodness and now he's Krishna. And we can also become Krishna. We are also Brahman. We all don't have form. We are all just simply Brahma Jyoti. We're just the light, pure consciousness. There is no form business here. Just pure consciousness, just hanging there. And that is their philosophy. So that's why for them, anything with the form, Rupa, Guna, Leela, anything, even if it is the Lord, is all Maya for them. That's why they think that all the devotees are in Maya. Because we are after Rupa, Guna, and Leela. They think this is the lower form of worship. Because we are caught up in the Rupa, Guna, Leela, which are all still in the modes. That's what they think. For them, Nama is the ultimate. There is no Rupa, Guna, Leela for them. Just merge in the Nama. Brahma Sayujya Mukti. Like that. So that's impersonalism. But why are they thinking like that? How come the devotees, it is so simple for the devotees to know who Bhagavan is and what the Rupa, Guna, and Leela of Bhagavan is and to actually relish all that. How come some people are just opposite to that and they cannot believe and they cannot get it? Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah mudhoyam na bijanati loko mamajamavyayam. It's because of the Lord. Like the demigod worshippers, who is giving them the faith in that particular demigod? It's the Lord himself. Because That particular jiva is desiring, has material desire so much that they want to worship the demigod. So Lord said, okay, if this is what you want. Same thing with the impersonalists here. If you are not ready to know that I have a form and I enjoy in my qualities and pastimes, if you're not ready to hear that I have such kind of enjoyment, that I have a beautiful form, I have wonderful qualities, so be it. Naham prakasha sarvasya. I will not reveal to you then. Yogamaya samavrataha. I will cover you with the Yogamaya. I am not manifest to everybody. Na aham prakasha sarvasya. Mudoyam na abhijanati. Because I cover them with my Yogamaya, avrataha, cover them. Mudoyam na abhijanati. They will not be able to understand my real nature, my rupa, my guna, my lila. They will not be able to understand. Even if I'm speaking, even myself, me speaking in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Bhagwan Vacha, they will not get it. It is because Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. I chose not to manifest to those who are not ready to respect my Rupa Guna Leela. Mudoyam na abhijanati. So those fools, mudas, they will not understand. Loko mam ajam avyayam. They cannot understand how I am ajam. I don't have birth. And I'm imperishable. How in the world that they can think that Krishna is taking birth because the Brahman is touched by the modes? And how is it that some people think that Krishna is killed by a Jara and took birth? It is because they're mudas. They're covered by Yogamaya. I do not have birth. Ajam. I don't perish. My form never perishes. So they will not be able to understand because they're covered by Yogamaya. Unless they serve a pure devotee, unless they serve the devotees. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Unless the devotion goes into the hearts, from the devotion from the heart of a devotee touches their heart, they will not be, their Yogamaya will not go. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Okay, Arjuna, you have heard it all now, right? I told you about the demigods. I also told you about the impersonalists. So the impersonalists, they think they know me. Nobody knows me, Arjuna. Only I know everyone. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charchina. Veda aham. I know. I know everything that has happened in the past. Vartamani. Now, in the future. What is happening now and what will happen in the future. Bhavishyani. I know everything what will happen to all these living entities. I know about their past. I know what is happening to them now. I know what will happen to them in the future. Mam tu vedana kashana. Nobody knows about me. So do not even categorize me in the category of living entity. The Lord is distinctly very saying, I am Bhagavat Tattva. I do not belong to Jiva Tattva. I cannot be understood by Jiva Tattva because they're covered by Yoga Maya. Mam tu vedana kashana. No one knows about me. I know all, but nobody knows me. How beautiful, huh? So far, Bhagavan has given us Bhagavat Tattva and the Jiva that is affected by the modes and doing the Devatarchana and the impersonalism and also the influence of the modes. That's what we heard. This is the last shloka. Okay. Now that the Lord said about the Devatarchana and the impersonalists, he already said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Who is qualified to do bhakti? Who is qualified to do bhakti? Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Esham tu antagatam papam. Antagatam papam. Previous sins are all eradicated. Yeah. And jananam punya karmanam. And those people who are pious. Pious, all the sins are eradicated. Those two. And now comes te dvandva moha nirmukta, who is freed from duality of illusion. Duality and illusion. Mukta. Only they can do bhajan with dridhavrata. Bhajan, bhakti with great determination. Dear devotees, this is the answer for all of us. If we see that our bhakti is not in great determination, then one of these things is stopping us. Previous sins eradicated. That sinful tendency, Sinful is, by this time we know, the sense gratification. And janana punya karmana, pious, acting piously. Piety is more in terms of sacrifice, helping, piety, like that. So, who has that piety build up? Who has this nature of sacrifice? Yeah. And if we don't have that nature, and if there is still tendency for sense gratification, these two things. And third one is, if we are seeing duality, means pushing away the insult, wanting praise, pushing away the so-called enemy, and wanting the so-called friend. Any duality. If we are inclined to entertain the duality, and if we are in illusion, illusion is not with Krishna is illusion, not in bhakti is illusion. Not in prapatti is illusion. So, when we have any of these things that are still lingering within us, then there is no great determination to do bhakti. Bhakti will go on, but there is no great determination because one of these three things would be stopping us. Only we would know what is that particular thing. Then what is the remedy? What do we do? In Kali Yuga, the remedy is the same thing. Same thing. We understand what we lack. And we just take prapatti, yeah. Mam evaye prapatyante, maya etam tarantite. Mam evaye prapatyante. In Kali Yuga, Kalikala, Namarupe, Krishna Avatara, Mam evaye prapatyante is Nama evaye prapatyante. Taking full prapatti of the Nama is not easy. That is not easy. But when we start heading in that direction to increase the quality of our japa, that's basically prapatti of the Nama. To see that our japa quality is really good. How do we know if the japa quality is really good? the mode of, at least the mode of goodness will predominate within us. There will be a lot of steadiness within us. And there is not too much of pushing, pulling, sinking. And even if there is some, it would subside soon and it would not disturb us more. So that internal steady state, slowly coming to that internal steady state. And that's how we know that our quality of bhajan is better. So when our internally when we are getting to that steady state during bhajan with the nama, then the same steady state, we are the same people, then the same steady state will exist throughout, even when we are interacting with the people. So that's how nama eve prapatyante. When our quality of japa gets better, we will understand, we will know what we need to do to get our quality of japa better. That is how our bhakti gets better. It's not like one step. Okay, I want to get my quality of japa better and I start. No, we will know all those things that are coming in our mind when we do the japa. And we will see the reason why they are coming. So we have to see how we can prevent those things coming in our japa. Then we will know, okay, service is the way to go. When we serve outside the japa, then the disturbances during the japa will be very minimal. So in this way, we will be molded very much. And then that is an answer for any of these obstacles that we may have. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Vaishnava Seva outside the japa, and then Nama Seva. These two things, they give us Krishna Prema. So that is determination in bhakti. Okay, those three things that Lord Krishna said. And the last verse is, now Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, you have heard this all. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadi yajnam chaye viduhu prayana kale api chamam te vidur yukta chetasaham. O Arjuna, whoever knows that I am the governing principle of all the living entities and all these devatas and all these yajnas, then they will stay fixed in my thoughts even during the prayana kala. Prayana kala is traveling time, the soul traveling time, exiting the body, leaving the body. Beautiful word, prayana kala. We don't feel very sad when we are doing journeys, right, dear devotees? If we have to drive to a different place, get into the car, go to a different place, we are not in the same place anymore. We stay in that place for some time, maybe for a week or so. And then we drive when we come back. This is all prayana kale. Body, the soul is also exiting this body, is also prayana kale. That's the language of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan, prayana kale. Yeah, when the Lord says this, then Arjuna asks these questions in the 8th chapter. What is this Adi Bhutam? What is this Adi Daivam? What is this Adi Yajnam? What is this Prayana Kale, Krishna? Can you please explain me in detail? That's how the 8th chapter starts. That's all, dear devotees. This is how the 7th chapter ends. So, what did we hear today? We heard about Shravanam, the hearing process. How should we hear? With asakti, great attachment, and with ashrita, asakti and ashrita. That's about hearing. And then the Lord explains about the rarity of the knowledge of Bhagavan. After that, the Lord explains about his energies, the inferior energy and then the marginal energy is also called superior energy because soul is also a part and parcel of Bhagavan, Satchit Ananda Rupa. So this marginal energy is also falls into the superior energy category. And then about the Lord himself, how he holds all these energies together. And then how the Lord is all pervasive in the body itself, outside the body, everywhere, and his essence of everything. So that's about his energies, all pervasiveness, and how is the essence of everything. Next comes the modes of the Lord, how the modes come from him, but those modes does not affect the Lord, but the jivas are affected by the modes. So in order to not be affected by the modes, jiva, the Lord says they just have to take prapatya of him and he will cross over the modes. But there are some who do not do this prapatti, the four kinds of people that go away from Krishna that we have heard, and the four kinds of people that come towards Krishna. And amongst them four, all of them are pious, but the best one is the Jnani, not just Jnani, but who is engaged in unalloyed devotion. That kind of pure surrendered soul is rare. So in this way, we heard about the Bhagavad Tattva, the modes Shakti Tattva, and about the Jiva Tattva. And after that, we heard about the demigod worship. Who worships the demigods? Who has those material desires, strong material desires, and who gives the faith to that particular demigod, and who gives the result of that vratam or yajnam, that is all Lord. But all of that are antavattu phalam tesham. They are very temporary. And about the impersonalists, what is their understanding? And they cannot understand that the Rupa, Guna, and Leela of the Lord are imperishable because they are covered by Yoga Maya. The Lord chooses not to reveal himself. That's why they cannot understand. So the Lord knows everybody, their past, present tense, and future, but nobody knows the Lord. And who can do determined bhakti? Those three qualities. And the linking verse of to the 8th chapter. Adi Bhutam, Adi Yajnam, and Adi Daivam is all the Lord, Lord Krishna. That's all, dear devotees. Yes, please. It's all yours now. Maybe we'll take 5 minutes today because need to go somewhere else today. So we'll take 5 minutes of Paraspara, please. Madhava, go ahead. And Veda Renu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the amazing class. I really like the point where you said, like, once we take prapatti or like submit ourselves to Krishna, Krishna helps us like cross over the modes, and then like all we need to do is stay with Krishna and serve him.
That's it. Simple, beta. Yes. Wonderful, beta. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
You're beautifully simplified. When it comes from your mouth, it sounds really good. Madhava, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, beta. Please go ahead. Next one. Veda, Renu, and Krish. Akshay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Haribol
Thank
Talli.
you for the amazing class. One point I really liked in the class was that when you said people who think Krishna is not the supreme personality of Godhead are fools. Krishna doesn't manifest for those fools, and Krishna covers them by his yoga maya. Krishna knows everyone, but no one knows Krishna because he covered us with his yoga maya.
Yeah,
Hare
he
Krishna,
covered it.
Mataji.
Yes, yes. Thank you, beta. Thank you. Yeah. Veda, you have something then?
Yes, Mataji.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
I really liked the class today. And a point I liked was the demigod worship. Who does demigod worship is the people whose intelligence is stolen by material desires, and they surrender unto the demigods instead of Krishna, and they adopt various rules under the control of their own nature, and That all is in the shlokas of 7.20 to 7.21. And who gives the faith and results to them is Krishna, and that's 7.22. And results and destination of demigod worshippers are limited and temporary results, and they go to the demigod planets, and then they come back to the material world one day.
Yeah. And in this Kali Yuga, they can't even go to the demigod planet because they don't have the paraphernalia to do the demigod worship in order to go to that planet. And they don't know how to do the mantras, nothing in the previous Yuga. But as you said, even if they went to demigod planet, they had to return. Yes, beta. Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol Tali. Thank you. Fish.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the amazing class. This was very great. It was practical for us also. More practical than the last class, you could say, Astanga Yoga. The best part of the class, the entire class was very great, but I'd say about the four surrendered types of people, the four types of people who surrender to Krishna, the four pious. It makes us like have an understanding where we are and how we can like actually progress.
Yes.
Because we want to get to the fourth one, the intelligent ones who actually has knowledge.
Yes.
And that's the best
yes.
type of a pious person, and if we can get that, then that would be great.
Very good, beta. You're already there, so you have no worries. We just have to get there to catch up with you. That's all. Thank
I
you.
don't feel like that.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Akshay?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the amazing class.
Yes, please.
So one point I really liked is that Krishna is the essence of all of existence, and it shows that there's a connection that his part is among all of us. He's in everything we do, eat, like even sleep. He's in our thoughts. He's in everything.
Yes.
And so I connected this with Matta Parataramnanyat, showing that he has lots of power and he's that invisible string that's holding all of us, the beads, up so that we can be a beautiful necklace for him.
Very nice. Nice, beta. Akshay. Very good. Thank you. Oh, that was nice. We can be a beautiful necklace for him. Yes, beta. Thank you. Thank you for those words. Yes, Mataji. Josna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams to Mataji.
Yeah,
thank you for the class.
Thank you.
Since there is no child here in the house, so I am the child in giving that. So two things that were really beautiful for me, Mataji, was the rarity that Krishna talks in the shloka 3, the rarity of knowing him. That shloka is very, very beautiful. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashchit yatati siddhe yatatanam api siddhanam. And the other one is the how Lord Krishna is saying that mattaha parataram na anyat. And after that, beautifully, he talks about how to look for him in everything. That is always very beautiful, and especially looking. I really like the strength of the people, the knowledge of the people. Very, very practical to see that Krishna in that. One question I have, Mataji. So, why people do not go to Krishna, or people think that Brahman is greater than Krishna? So in this chapter only, Krishna is saying that I do not disclose myself to them, right? But I always struggle to understand it, that why would somebody, if Krishna is so clearly saying it in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Parataram Na Anyat, and so many times he's saying these things, why would somebody still say that Brahman is greater? And so many times when we talk to the people who practice another yogas, and they say, okay, we have not read, but all our gurus, they have read it, everything. But why will they say, those kind of questions come up? So how to understand that, Mataji?
Yeah, that will take a little time. We'll address.
Sure, Mataji.
Yeah?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Just, I know you're short of time, so I just want to have one comment, and the question you can tell me later on. One, I was just so appreciative when I was hearing, like, it's so nice when you hear, like you said, when Krishna says aham, 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 so beautiful, like I am this, I'm this. And it is so like, you just feel that is the truth. There is no, like, if anybody else says, right, even when they say little bit, I did this, I did that, somehow in your heart, you never feel, I used to feel that. I have some relatives, my dad also sometimes used to do this in the past. And I somehow could never, but when Krishna says that, right, I am this, I'm that, it's just so satisfying to hear. And it comes from such a truthful place, like that's the truth. And so that was very nice for me. And, the other thing I was touched with is also how, the faith he gives for the demigod worshippers or the impersonalist, whatever it is, the faith comes from Krishna, right? That was very, very touching. Question I had was, one, you said, you said when we serve, when you were telling about Nam Eva Hi Prapadante, you said when we serve outside the japa, you said. I wanted to understand a little bit more about that. And the other question I had was, this was from the morning thing, and maybe, I missed 1 or 2 days in between the morning sessions, and I probably covered, so forgive me if you did. But you had talked about journaling once, and I don't know if you mentioned how to journal. So that was something, these two things, when you get time.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. I think regarding service outside the japa, we'll cover it sometime during the morning. I think it will come out in the morning prayer because it's so much linked with the Nama.
Yeah.
Regarding the journaling, once we are finished with Bhagavad Gita, March, April, May, June. May is for the English session. June will be in Telugu. So the whole month of May will be about the journaling.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, a walk through the journaling, practical application of bhakti.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right, dear devotees. Thank you all so much. Honoring all of your association. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jaya. Samaveda Bhakta Vrindi ki jaya. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.